Welcome to Montessori Matters with Blessing Fort-Ike. Today I'm discussing raising a strong-willed child. All children can be strong-willed, sometimes exhibiting certain behaviors. However, children who are strong-willed exhibit these behaviors more often than the ones who are not. Children who are strong-willed are not necessarily exhibiting bad behaviors when they appear stubborn. Rather, they are being determined, decisive. They are children who have high level of integrity. They love independence. They want to do things for themselves. These are strong-willed children. They are daring. They are courageous. Sometimes they show strong emotions. They want to learn things for themselves rather than accepting the opinions of others. They want to make a decision and stick to it. These are strong-willed children. They make decisions and they stick to it. They have high capacity, or I should say higher capacity to resist peer pressure. Children who are strong-willed can be very, what do I mean? They want to test the limits. They want to test the rule, to see how firm you will be, to see how you can follow through. They like to feel in control. They like to feel in charge. And you know what? They can argue. Why? Because they stick to their opinions. They stick to their decision pattern. However, if well handled, they'll become terrific teens and young adults. They are self-motivated. You'll see them, they are the ones that want to lead, that want to tell you how things should be. They want things to go their own way. So their desire to be in charge, they tend to put it over every other thing. Sometimes they don't care. That's why sometimes people will think they are stubborn, that they are rude. If we as educators, as parents, can resist the impulse to break this will, to break this trait, they will become good leaders. I believe these traits, this will, should not be broken, but it should be nurtured. It should be managed, it should be channeled rightly so that they can become children who are good leaders when they become young adults, and when even in their teen age you see them leading, because it's part of them. So we ought to nurture it. Hence, I will be giving some recommendations today how you can relate with a strong-willed child, how you can raise them to become this young, tenacious, determined, self-motivated adult or youth, as the case may be. So one of the things I will say is that show them empathy. Showing empathy does not necessarily mean that you will agree with them. It means seeing things from their perspective, trying to connect with them, to know how they think, to know how they see things. If you can see the things from their perspective, you can connect with them. And if you can connect with them, you can direct them rightly, you can coach them how they can manage their emotions and how they can utilize their energy, because they are full of energy, they are full of life. So if you can show them empathy and you are able to connect with them, you can channel them their strength rightly. You can help them channel their emotions rightly, and they will become the leaders that we look up to, that we are proud of. Let me give you an example of how you can show empathy to them. Let's say they are displaying an intense anger. Instead of you yelling and shouting, just acknowledge their feelings. Once that feelings is acknowledged, they will calm down. Let me give you an example. Let's say you took your child or your children in school to the park, or you took your child to grandma's house, and it's time to go. You tell them that it's time to go. Your child said, I'm not going. Your child starts wailing, crying, or showing anger, showing that I'm not going, I will not go. Instead of you yelling, shouting, I've told you not to be doing this, and you say all what you want to say, instead of you pouring your anger on the child, calm down and acknowledge that feelings. What do? You say, my darling, come. I know you don't feel like going. You're having fun in the park. You're having fun with your cousins. I understand that. However, we have to go home, or you have to go back to school if it's a class. If it's a school that came to the park. Because you have things to do at home, or your parents will come and pick you up. When you explain to the child like this, the child will listen. You see them trying to calm themselves down, to listen to what you're saying. And moreover, if you leave now, you will have the chance to come some other time. You can come next time. If you continue like this, next time you will not come to the park. Next time you will not go to grandma's house. You will not come to grandma's house. So you let them know. By this time you will see that they will calm down, because they like to reason. They like to think through things. So they would have analyzed everything and they will calm down. That is one way to show empathy. Another way you can work with a strong-willed child is to give rules that are sustainable, rules that you know you will be able to carry through with. Because these ones, they can argue. Once you falter in one place, they will remind you next time. So that's why you ought to make rules that you know is sustainable and it covers everybody. Let me give you an example. Maybe you say, there's no jumping in the couch, no jumping on the bed. Sustain it, whether it's for small, whether it's for big. Everybody should follow that rule. Let's say you say light art is 8 p.m. Every day, once it's 8 p.m., let it be light art. Don't break it. Maybe one day you're just feeling overexcited, or you are doing something interesting, and it's past 8 p.m. That's okay. Let's just finish what we're doing before going. They will remind you next time. Maybe subsequently, when it's lighter, I say lighter. They say, Mommy, I want to finish what I'm doing, or I want to do this. If you say no, you say, Beth, you did it the other day. You allowed us to finish what we were doing before. That is what, because I told you they can argue. They will bring their strong point, they will bring their strong reasons why they must do that. And now somehow they've gotten it from you because you broke the rule one of these days. Another way you can raise a strong-willed child is that you give them choices that make them to feel in control. I told you they like to feel in charge. They want to be in charge. So you give them choices that make them feel in control. How do I mean? You can tell them, like the previous video I told you, when you're giving them choices, it should not be in case of the event. There should be the sequence of events. So you can ask, will you want to take a nap first before doing your homework, or will you want to do your homework first before taking? I want you to make the decision. You've made him or her feel in control. The child choose. Or the child just come and say, I don't feel like sweeping. I don't feel like washing my plates. But you say, okay, that's okay. But you either you wash your plate or you eat in a dirty plate afterwards. The choice is yours. So you've given him control to choose. So the child will know, I have to wash my plate because I don't want to eat in a dirty plate. These are ways you can help strong-willed children to develop their way to take decisions. They will think they are in charge. They are doing things they need to do. Above all, give fair judgment when they think they are fighting for their right. This is very important because they can fight for their right. So they expect us to give them fair judgment. For you to be able to reduce power struggle with them is to give fair judgment. Let me give you an example. Let's say somebody took his or her pencil without permission and she just got to the place and snatched the pencil from the person, or start yelling, why did you take my pencil? You as the caregiver, instead of yelling at him, I've told you not to be snatching things, I've told you not to do this, and whatever you want to say, you calm down and say, I know you are not happy that he took your pencil without permission. Then you face down, why did you take his pencil without permission? Next time, when you want to take somebody else's item, make sure you ask for permission. Then you turn to him. Next time when somebody takes your thing without permission, you don't snatch, you don't yell, you don't shout. What you need to do is to ask politely, please, may I have my pencil? Or can I have my pencil? Or can I have my item? Whatever the item is. By so doing, he feels justified that they are not just yelling at him that he's not, that they, even though he was cautioned on her to ask politely, this other person was also cautioned to ask for permission before taking somebody else's item. That is fair judgment. They will be so happy, so excited. Another thing you can do is, I would say, give them reasons for their whys. When they ask you why this soup, why is this thing here, why is that, you explain to them. Let me give you an example. Maybe you are planning to go out and something happened. You say, we're not going out again. Even before they ask why, you can explain to them, we are not able to go out today because it's raining or because the car is faulty. By so doing, they reason with you. They're able to buy into it. They are not feeling as if somebody is just taking them for granted. Somebody is just trying to control them. They are feeling in control. Whereas you are also in control. You are just trying to carry them along. That's it. It means. Then another thing I would say is that give them positive feedback. When they do what they are supposed to do, commend them. Don't say, well done, oh great, excellent. Say exactly what they did right. Let me give you an example. You can say, oh, I love the way you took a deep breath before responding to your sister or before responding to your friend. You did not yell, you did not shout. Well done. You have told me you are reinforcing that attitude. You're not just saying the child well done to reinforce his ego. No, it's that attitude that you are commending and you want him to always display that behavior. So you have outlined it down so it's noted. The last thing I want to share is that you as the parent, you must be a good role model. Because children, they observe us and they emulate what we do. So if you don't want your children to yell, if you don't want them to shout, you ought to check your tone when discussing with them, when talking with them. You must check your tone. When correcting them, when giving instruction, whatever communication you're doing with them, you must check your tone. They will follow suit because they emulate us. If these tips are practiced consistently, patiently, I must say, you raise up this strong willed children. They will become children who are good leaders, who are responsible, who knows how to manage their emotions. It's that simple. And you have less power to struggle with these ones when you apply these tips continuously. I've come to the end of today's video. I know you have gained some things from it. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with family and friends. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.